Alright, here we have our fully restored 1966 Ford F100. It's had a complete nut and bolt restoration, frame off. It's got, it's never been driven in the rain since. Every nut and bolt and fastener has been either restored or replaced in just amazing condition. This is just a stock restoration, original motor, transmission, all original body. We have some of the restoration pictures showing the frame off, cab and frame, and we have some before pictures. It actually has 10 years on the restoration, and a little less than 10 years, and just a little over 3,300 miles. But this thing is just meticulous, and you could tell this is the original. Some of the stuff is original on this truck, so it just shows you the condition of this truck. The original bag, I mean, the brake switch, everything has been done. You can see the underside pictures in just incredible condition. Even the air cleaner's been restored. I mean, every little detail on this thing. The foot pedals for the accelerator, you see all that. Everything was taken off and touched and done. The hood hinges, I mean, the core support, everything was taken apart. I mean, this is inside. It smells like a fresh restoration. It smells like a new truck. It smells like fresh paint, fresh upholstery, all that stuff. It's a base coat, clear coat paint job. The door handles and this emblem are original. They show really nice, but the rubber gaskets were replaced on all of them. But you can tell the condition of them. I mean, this is still the original stuff right here. And chrome's in nice shape, but it does have a couple, it does show it's a original. But when something's that nice, I'm with them to keep it. The only imperfections on the entire truck is a little rock chip right here that could be touched up. It's Wimbledon white, so that's real common color. And then on the very back, this originally is a silver finish, just a raw finish, and he chose to paint it, and there was a little dimple overlooked. And then on the passenger side fender, the emblems were restored with a new piece, and there's a little hairline crack right there, and the crack right there in the plastics. Otherwise, this thing is just immaculate, and I'll take you through it. Take you along the front. I mean, it is just beautiful. You can see the core support behind the grill is all shiny. There's about 200 pictures of this truck, so hopefully you can go through it. And it is driver ready. What's nice about having 3,300 miles is it's never seen rain, so it looks as fresh as a fresh restoration could be. But the nice thing is about a restoration that's got some age on it and stuff is any bugs like carb adjusting, time adjusting, any issues like that have already been ironed out. Plus, if there's anything in the paint, anybody who knows when you get paint, it takes a while for stuff to work through. Like, sometimes fish eyes or rock chips that were overlooked that do dimples in the paint, cracking, anything like that somebody might have just done a quick repaint on, will show up sometimes 6 months or a year later. So it's nice to see that nothing's come through on this thing. It is truly just immaculate. I mean, the paint's got nice depth, no orange peel, there's no fish eyes, there's no dust in the paint. I've been up and down this thing. I mean, it's nice through here, nice seam sealer, there's no cracks, when somebody does a cheap job. I mean, this thing was done to be perfect. And there's a little mark in the paint there. That's just, I think, a buff through mark on the seam sealer, but it's super small. But also, anybody's attention detail, if they're going to take the original toolboxes and restore both of them in and out, I mean, these things, even the toolboxes, this was an option for the truck, is what the gentleman said, and the rear bumper. So this was on the truck new. I mean, fully took these boxes apart and restored them and put some nice carpet in there to take care of them. I mean, the love and detail is going to go on. Show you some of the cool stuff that we have with it. Tailgate opens nice and smooth. I mean, everything, just been restored. All that stuff. This is the original stuff, but he went through. And here's some of the pictures. You can see the frame off. Just some before pictures. So you can see it wasn't a rust bucket. You can see the firewall. Fenders weren't rusted out. It was a nice candidate. The cab's off. This is the truck before. The cab's off there. So cool stuff that'll come with it. The original owner's manual, original brochure, copies of trophies, and I'll go through the details on what those are. Only one of them came with it. They didn't want to keep some of them, but all this stuff is just amazing to see after this many years. I mean, you know the love. You got a 66 plate frame. You never put a front license plate on. You got original hubcap, another spare that's restored. It's got the mat. It's never hauled anything. You know, the paint on the inside of the bed, this area, isn't as equal to the outside. You know, hasn't been wet sanded and buffed to perfection. Tailgate shuts really nice. And the seals on the doors, the rubbers, you know, they're still breaking in, so you got to slam the doors, but anybody who's had something restored, you know, kind of knows how that goes. But the inside is just beautiful and pristine. The seat's been restored. But everything in here just smells like new. New mat. All the glass is restored original glass or new old stock. They all got the Carlite and the Fomaco logo on the fly windows. Here on the back window. The Ford, the front window has been replaced. It's not a cheap aftermarket. It's actually Ford. It's got the Ford logo. It's in the front of in the very middle. And then I already showed you the rear one, but it's a laminated front glass, so it's a lot safer. There's the Ford logo. You know, it's stuff like the shift knob's original, so that wasn't restored, but I mean, this truck is just unreal how beautiful it is. Seat belts have been added, you know, kind of the stuff you'd see in the 70s for safety. But I'll try to get everything in this video as I can, but I want it to be too long at the same time. But the photos show pretty much anything and everything. But not trying to rush the video either, but forecast does call for rain, and this truck's never been in rain before, so I don't want to be driving down a rainy road. I'll try to do a nice little walk around. Even the windows, or the window squirters on the hood, have been restored, and this thing is truly pristine. I mean, you know, I usually do a lot of original trucks, pretty much either fully restored or original Survivors. So there's a lot more to describe on like a Survivor. You know, it's got rear air shocks, but you can see the detail. I mean, putting new rubbers around this bumper. The bumper's been fully restored. I mean, not a lot of people go to these depths to bring this thing down to bare metal. And this isn't rattle can on here. I mean, this is base coat, clear coat on the toolboxes, the bumpers. And you can take the toolboxes off if you want, but to me, it just gives that 66 look. But as you can see, you know, you got to give the doors a good little slam, just until those seals break in. But you know, the guys only put 3,300 miles on it, and you know, a little less than 10 years. You know, like this is original trim here, but look how nice. This has been replaced, and this one's been replaced. But I mean, it is just, you can see it was all taken apart. You know, fresh bolts everywhere you look. Underneath, just fresh bolts. So we're gonna get her warmed up and hopefully take her for a spin before the rain hits, because we don't want to get the underside all dirty. But the underside is just clean. So hopefully you get to check out all the photos. This is gonna be a truck I'm gonna miss. We've had it for a while and I love having it, but we just can't keep them all. So all right, so good luck. All right, here we are on our cold start video of our fully restored frame off restoration 66 Ford F100. So it's nice and cold, so grab a whole exhaust manifold. And I mean, it was inside, and we just, you know, in all honesty, just pushed it out of the shop. But so it's not like 10 degrees out or anything, but it's nice to see how a older vehicle starts when the motor is cold, because a lot of them tend to run a little different. So you can see the e-brake works nice. I mean, this is a nut and bolt restoration, all original. It's just gorgeous, everything works. This is the choke. The carburetor's dialed in really good, so I mean, if it's real cold, you can pull it all the way out, but I usually just pull it a quarter of the way out. I don't even touch the gas. And it fires right up. You can see it running nice and smooth. And of course the RPMs are up a little bit because the choke is on. But it just sounds like a little sewing machine. I mean, it is Absolutely unreal. You know, everything is brand new exhaust out the back, running nice and smooth. It's all right. We're gonna get it warmed up, go do some photos, and do a driving video. All right, here we are for our run and driving video on our fully restored 66 F100. This thing is just amazing beauty, and some I probably missed in the, in the last video, but it's got all new seals everywhere. I mean, everything's been replaced. I mean, door handles, around the gas filler, gas cap. I mean, if it could be restored or replaced, it was done. Both doors just roll up and down nice and smooth. I mean, you get awesome door felts in here. All the lights work, all that stuff. Even the license plate light is lit up and working. 4-way flashers going. You can see it's just got a nice little 6-cylinder sound to it. So you go and belts up, and then interior light works. Nice headliner. That's all. This here is original, which shows you the condition of the truck. I mean, all the screws and hardware in here are original. Visors have been redone, but I mean, you look at the restoration on the mirror. A lot of people aren't going to go through the efforts on a 6-cylinder F100 to go to these depths, and it's just awesome to see. Unless you really love something, because the amount of time and money that would go into this is something you never get back. I mean, the way you want to buy them is done like this, so it's a good money savings. And the seals around the fly window are still a little tight, so like the doors are going to take a little time to work in. You can see these have been added. There was nothing here, so it's nice to see oil pressure and amps added. Temp gauge is starting to come up. I mean, they got tiny numbers from the factory. It's so cool. And then the fuel gauge is working properly. 4-way flashers is just that. Turn off the fan. It just goes nice and smooth. So all right, we're gonna get going here. Obviously the e-brake was working. You can see it wasn't rolling away on me. Wipers do work. Gonna try to hurry home before any more sprinkles. I don't want to be the one to bring this baby out in the rain. So it's a 4-speed. I usually start off in 2nd gear, just because 1st gear is super low. But if you're in traffic or something like that, it's a good gear to grab, or if you're gonna haul something. But this truck just runs and drives killer. I mean, this is a ready to go, needs nothing restoration. All the bugs have been worked out on it. It's got some proven miles, so that's nice to have. Going down the road, this thing just drives nice and solid. I mean, you can see the paint quality and the depth on it. Being a light yellow, it's a little hard to capture in the photos, the depth and quality, but you can see the trees reflecting off of it are just nice and crisp. There's not any fogginess. It's a manual steering, so it's a truck. It didn't come with a whole lot of options new, not a lot of chrome, which is, to me, it's cool when you see a truck that came this way and someone's gonna go through the efforts to keep it that way and restore all those items. Like the toolboxes, it's just awesome to see, because I mean, the amount you could have just gone and bought new toolboxes for probably a quarter of the cost to restore those boxes and iron out any little dings and dents that have happened to those things in the last 50 years. So there's 4th gear, really nice clutch, just crisp brakes. All the brakes are adjusted correctly. You don't have any grabbing or pulling. Nice rattle-free drive. It's got the aerodynamics of a brick, so you do get wind noise that these things just have. But it's just an awesome truck. This thing gets compliments wherever it go. It's won 2nd place. It's won 1st place. Oddly enough, it won 1st place trophy for a truck from 1900 to, I think it was 1996 was the year bracket. But it won it at Bowen Scar Ford's annual car show, which is funny. Our other truck listed was bought brand new at Bowen Scar Ford, so it's kind of cool. And that's kind of why we decided to pair them up. They got similar color options. This one's fully restored. That one's original, so it's kind of a cool marriage of the two. But you can see the squirters are brand new. I mean, your wipers are brand new. They've really never been used, so they're probably 10 years old, but they're in perfect condition. This truck's been garaged since the restoration. So you can see, I mean, we were doing highway speeds, no problem. Plenty of RPMs to go if you want to go 70, 75, 80 if you want to get crazy, but coming to a nice stop here, doesn't pull, just really nice, easy to drive. But I wanted to take you on some back roads so you can see, how it turns and goes over the bumps. And this is a pretty nasty road of potholes and stuff, so you can see it just soaking up. I mean, here's some holes. This soaks them up nice, but it's just a really nice, quiet. This is nice. I love a V8 like anybody else. I love, 2-chamber Flowmasters, and I got a big block in my C10, and love the sound of it. But in all honesty, sometimes it's nice to get in a little quiet 6-cylinder like this, go for a cruise. It's just got that nice little whistle to it. And this thing is, I wasn't around when these were brand new, but it sure would have been cool. And this thing is obviously paint and body wise, and the materials on the seats and visors is far superior and better than new. I mean, this truck was definitely taken up above a level. So really, if you're looking for one of the, a runaround truck, or if you have like a wedding venue, or a cool, farm where you want a nice showpiece, or if you're just looking for a nice old truck, I mean, you cannot find a nicer one. It's never been molested. It's got the original rear end, the original transmission, the original motor that came with it new. I'm pretty sure that's the original carburetor. It's been rebuilt, but I can't swear that. But you can see just nice tight turns. Nice tight turns here. But yeah, there's just really no imperfections to talk about this truck except for those little marks I showed in the last video with that small stone chip on front, a little imperfection on the rear tailgate handle, and the little crack on the F100 I-beam emblem on the right. But I mean, it's won best paint. It was at the Seattle Roadster Show. He did keep most of the trophies, but took pictures of them, I mean, kind of wanted for a memory, which is cool. I completely understand. So he kept a lot of photos. So I'm going to start off in first here. It doesn't have a synchronized first, so you pretty much got to be stopped like that. But I just want to show you what it's like. That's pretty much it. And that's why I don't really use it. And I'm not flooring it. This is just a half throttle. That's a half throttle shift. And I mean, we're up to great speeds. Just soaks up the bumps nice. I mean, it's a manual steering truck, and I mean, it's just been a one-hander. It's just easy and just an enjoyment to drive. So, all right, everybody, good luck on this, and I hope it goes to a new loving home.